Hello and welcome back. So I'm starting first with spraying some pure alcohol in every single nail, and I'm gonna push the eponychium back. We also got two lost nails over there, so I'm gonna have to construct them again at the end. So I'm pushing them back slightly without hurting my client. So here I'm gonna use a carbide bit. I'm gonna show you in a minute which one because I forgot to show it to the camera, but you're gonna see up close in a minute. And I'm gonna remove most of the design. So I'm using this bit at a quite high speed, so I'm not gonna remove all of the design with it because it tends to cause a lot of friction and I don't want it to feel warm on my client's nails. So I'm just removing it down to that really thin clear layer of acrylic that I have applied before doing the design. This is quite easy to remove just because that black is not acrylic this time, it's just a gel polish. So I'm just going around the cuticle area, I'm also going around the side walls. Here I was just asking her how much she would like the length to be taken down, and I'm doing that right now. It's the same process on each nail. And sorry for the filming for being a bit wonky. I had the camera attached somewhere on my table, so every single time I was touching it and moving it, the camera will move also, so just bear with me. So this is a carbide coarse bit. I found it, I've tried many to try and remove as much acrylic as possible without causing a lot of friction or without warming up on my client's nails, and I found that this was the best one. I'm gonna just put them in the description box below, the links to the website. I think I've purchased it from Nail Supplies. So there is the one that I've just used, and now I'm using one that is actually, it was the shape of a little ball. It's actually meant to be used on the skin, but I use it around the cuticle area to remove all that dead skin, and if there's any hangnails on the actual cuticle, I remove that slightly with this. This helps me avoid using the nail clipper. I don't feel very confident with that. I do use it if I have to, but I want to avoid that as much as possible, so this does the job for me. And I think this bit came with my nail drill when I bought it. I think I bought it from Amazon or eBay, and they also send you a little box. I think it's pink little box, and they send you with a few of them. I found that most of them are no good, but there's 2 or 3 that are really good, and this is one of them. I think you can also purchase it separately from the nail drill, and it's really cheap. I'm also doing the same thing on the other hand in the same time, but I'm not gonna leave the footage, otherwise this video would have been way too long. And there I was explaining her that you don't trim the cuticles, that it actually makes me sick when I see people trimming the hell out of these cuticles. No, we usually only trim hangnails. Cuticles are there for a reason. They're to protect the luna, which is pretty much the brain of the nail. And if you trim all those cuticles like mad, you just open up a space that it can lead to any type of infection. So we don't want that. Just trim the hang nails. That's it. So I've used here a really fine bit. It also has a safety top, so it's really fine. It's alright to use it around the cuticle area. It's not gonna cut the skin, it's not gonna hurt my client or anything, and I can go really close, so I can remove from that design as much as possible. I like when I remove my designs to make them as thin as possible without ending up to file the natural nail. I don't want to touch the natural nail. In the worst case scenario, I'm just obviously removing the dead skin around the cuticle area, and I'm buffing them to remove the shine if there's any. But that's all I'm doing to the natural nail. I don't like to end up filing into it every single time. That would damage the natural nail, and you don't want that. I'm also using this bit to make the transition between the natural ingrown to the acrylic that is left, and to make it as flushed as possible for the acrylic application. And you see me doing that here right now. There's a bit of lifting there. I usually file the lifting, but this time I've used my pincher and I'm gonna go underneath, and I'm not gonna lift it. I'm not gonna force it to see if it just breaks by itself. If not, I'm just gonna file on top of it until that lifting is being removed. And there's a bit of glitter left here from the old design that she had prior to this one, and I want to remove it just because I'm a perfectionist. And here I'm just slightly measuring them. Obviously those two don't match, so I'm gonna fix that in a minute. So here I'm taking my 80 grit file. I think all the files that I'm using in this video, I've purchased them from nailnails.co.uk. Anyway, everything will be in the box below. So I'm using this 80 grit file just to shape the side walls and the free edge. And now I'm taking this one that is a 240 grit. So it's a lot smoother, and it's quite safe to use it around the cuticle area. And I'm working on that lifting that I was talking about. And the clippers I'm using here are from Glitter Planet UK. I'm sort of shaping the nails the way we want them. We want them in a coffin shape. I don't shape them perfectly. I don't care about that till the end when I finish the design and everything. Now I'm just sort of filing them and shaping them just so they don't look that wonky, because I can't stand it. And I know it looks really rough, many things I do in this video, but this video is being sped up, otherwise it would have taken ages to show everything. And again, I'm taking my 240 grit file and I'm just going on top of that, lifting till it gets really flush to the natural nail. And here I'm just cleaning up. My client's nails, they all look quite dark and quite black. She's a hairdresser and she uses obviously dark hair dye, but she doesn't use gloves ever, so they're always gonna be stained, especially underneath. So the thumb, I'm gonna file it a bit more and I'm gonna keep checking it with the other one till they are pretty much the same length. And after I do the design at the end and after I shape them and everything, I'm again gonna need to measure every single nail with the other one so they do have the same length. So here I'm spraying them with pure alcohol again, and I'm using my tiny little brush just to remove all that dust from the nail plate, and I also go underneath the nail. And obviously after this step I'm going to use my dehydrator and 2 coats of the primer, and we are ready to go. And I also left at the end just a picture with what design we choose to do that day, just for you to see it. Here it is, all nice and clean and safe. We kept the nail plate safe and healthy. This is a design that we made. If you like it, don't forget to subscribe.